Hey there, fellow horse lovers. Welcome back to the Daily Ride podcast. My name is Morgan. I am your host, and today I am excited to highlight another horse that helped us write history, Sergeant Reckless. The Daily Ride podcast directly supports True Heart Healing. True Heart Healing is my nonprofit organization aimed to support and empower veterans, their families, children with disabilities, and/or life-altering illnesses to form life-changing relationships with horses, engage in therapeutic experiences, discover hope, and find purpose through working with horses. If this sounds interesting to you, please head over to www.the-daily-ride.com to learn more and make a donation. True Heart and Sergeant Reckless was a horse, but she was also a Marine. And not only that, but she was a Marine that earned the rank of sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. She was fondly referred to as Sergeant Reckless, and her mission was to save American lives during the Korean War. Her legacy has left a shining example of the bond between humans and horses that we talk about here on the Daily Ride all the time. And her story is a testament to the bravery, intelligence, and heart of amazing horses throughout history, and especially mares. She actually began her life far away from the battlefield. She was born in Korea and she was bred to be a racehorse. She was originally named Flame of the Morning. She was a small chestnut horse standing at just 14 hands tall and weighing around 900 pounds. So, even for a racehorse, she wasn't very big. However, in 1952, Lieutenant Eric Peterson of the United States Marine Corps was looking for a horse in Korea to help carry ammunition for the recoilless rifle platoon. It was a weapon nicknamed the Reckless Rifle because of the backblast that it created whenever it was fired. He purchased Flame of the Morning for $250 from a young Korean boy who needed the money to buy an artificial leg for his sister. What he likely didn't know at the time was that he was giving the Marines and United States history a true hero. Lieutenant Peterson renamed her Reckless after the Reckless rifle that she would help transport ammunition for. Reckless quickly integrated into the ways of the Marine Corps. She was known to wander into tents, and once she famously ate about $30 worth of poker chips. Her mischievous antics and her gentle nature endeared her to her unit. She was considered part of the team. She quickly learned to carry ammunition, navigate through rough terrain, and even take cover during enemy fire, along with her Marine Corps brethren. She wasn't just a beast to carry the burden of ammunition. Her personality and her heart and her intelligence really made her part of the team. The Marines really bonded with her and they would share their daily rations with her. They would share their scrambled eggs, their beer, their Coca Cola, and even their chocolate every day. She was even known to sneak into soldiers' tents, eat unattended food, and sleep alongside them when she felt cold. Reckless wasn't just a war horse or a racehorse. She was quickly becoming family. Reckless's defining moment came during the Battle of Outpost Vegas in March 1953. Over the course of just 5 days, Reckless made 51 solo trips back and forth to deliver ammunition to troops, often while facing intense enemy fire. Carrying over 9,000 pounds of ammunition across treacherous terrain, and mind you, she was only 900 pounds herself, Reckless saved countless lives by ensuring that the Marines on her team had the supplies that they needed to hold their position. And when she wasn't carrying supplies to them, she was helping to evacuate the wounded soldiers back to safety. What makes this even more incredible to learn about is that she did all of these missions alone. She didn't have anyone handling her, riding her, or guiding her. Reckless had learned the route that she needed to take so well that she didn't need a human to help her. She would trek up hills, drop off her load, and return to the ammunition dump for another round, all while dodging shrapnel and bullets from the war that was actively raging around her. For her bravery and her service, Reckless was awarded 2 Purple Hearts, a Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, and several other honors. She was then promoted to the rank of sergeant, a title that she earned with every step that she took up and down those dangerous hills on those solo missions to support her human family. After the Korean War, Sergeant Reckless was brought to the United States, where she lived at Camp Pendleton in California like any other Marine. She was celebrated as a hero, appearing in parades, on television, and in countless newspaper articles. Despite her fame, though, Sergeant Reckless remained the same lovable, mischievous horse that had endeared herself to the Marines that she served with in Korea. She always continued to enjoy her favorite snacks, including those beer and scrambled eggs that her friends would share with her, and she then gave birth to several foals once she was in America. Reckless passed away in 1968, but her legacy lives on. Statues have been erected in her honor, including a statue at the National Museum of the Marine Corps in Quantico, Virginia, and another statue of her at Camp Pendleton in her honor. Her story is a reminder of the profound impact that animals can have in our lives, even in the most harrowing circumstances, and how human history is so intricately and profoundly shaped by our partnership with horses. So, what can we personally learn from the story of Sergeant Reckless? First, she displayed such courage and intelligence. She was so much more than a war horse or the racehorse that she was bred to be. She became a partner, a friend, and an independent soldier in her own right. Oftentimes, because of horses' flight instincts and their size, it is easy to underestimate their intelligence and their emotional capacity as animals. But Sergeant Reckless and her ability to serve independently to support the human Marines she obviously considered her responsibility and part of her unit speaks volumes. Sergeant Reckless also reminds us of the incredible bond that we can form between humans and horses. She didn't just follow orders and require a handler to tell her what to do. She worked alongside the Marines as their equal, independently, and earned their trust and love even when they weren't under fire. Her ability to bond with them, to make them laugh, to bring moments of levity and camaraderie across species is truly remarkable. And personally, I love the fact that Reckless was short. For a racehorse and for a war horse, 14 hands is not an especially large animal. But the fact that she went above and beyond just her job of carrying ammunition and was able to do so independently and create such a meaningful team with the Marines that she served alongside is a powerful example of how even the smallest, most unlikely among us can achieve greatness. Reckless carried more than the weight of ammunition. She carried the weight of her team and the lives of the Marines around her, and she did it with unmatched courage and heart. Reckless's story reminds us that despite technologic advancements in society, we still rely heavily on our loyalty, our bond, our relationship, and our communication. And that communication and relationship extends beyond our own species at times. Reckless, though small for a horse, was more than physically able to provide adequate support for a whole unit of Marines. She not only brought them what they needed, but she helped carry those who were hurt back to safety. I think a lot can be said for the ability to form a relationship with an animal that can think and make decisions and show compassion. I'm not sure Lieutenant Peterson knew at the time the invaluable investment that he had just made for his unit. It was not just a matter of bringing in a more lethal weapon. It was a matter of adding an asset to the team that could support in ways that simply adding more Marines could not. And Reckless's ability to understand, show compassion, and her intelligence to figure out exactly what her role should be and how to perform it to the best of her ability is something that a weapon or a technologic advancement just can't accomplish. As I mentioned before on this podcast, dogs might be man's best friend, but horses helped us write history. And Sergeant Reckless has definitely earned not just her rank, but her place and her legacy as America's war horse in United States history. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Daily Ride podcast. I hope you enjoyed learning about Sergeant Reckless and find her story as inspiring as I do. Don't forget to head on over to www.the-daily-ride to learn more about True Heart Healing and to make a donation. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, enjoy the ride.